Hey there. Good morning and good evening. Warm welcome and greetings to one and all of you. It's again a great pleasure to be connected in this or stay connected in this sessions that we have been doing for quite some time now. We strongly believe, we strongly trust that these sessions are very useful and benefiting. We strongly encourage each one of you to subscribe to our channels and please let us know if you need help on any topics, right? We will be researching and we will present it to you. We will help you. Our desire is to definitely see every one of you living long, living happy, living peaceful, living healthy. And that's the main reason why we have kicked off these kind of sessions. All right. Now, I'm going to start this session with a famous saying: if someone won't lift a finger to call you, see you, and spend some time with you, if someone would not, right? It's time for you to lift five fingers and say goodbye. All right. So, with this saying, we want to talk today about a very important factor. It's called as independency, right? Or not independence, it's independency, right? Being independent. Many of us definitely would want to go through these kind of sessions. Why? Because we understand the various nomenclatures, right? How life teaches many things to many people, right? But you don't get to network with all the people. Therefore, we don't learn everything that everyone would have gone through, and that's why these kind of sessions are very important. That we present it, we help you, right? This itself is like a central warehouse where it connects with multiple people, wide variety of people through experiences, circumstances, and whatnot, right? And you don't have to go and search of anything, the library, Google, or whatever. Just stay tuned to these sessions. We will take you through in a systematic way, and you cannot learn all of these in one overnight. And even if you would go through any of these sessions, it might take several months or years or even weeks together or decades together for some people to overcome or to see what they want to look like, what they want to be, or what they want to achieve. It takes time, right? And that's why stay tuned. What does it mean being independent? Right, very interesting session. Why? Because every one of us need to have that independency builds that self-dependence, that confidence, and regardless of any situations going wrong, ups and downs in life, you're able to manage it all by yourself. And most importantly, you'll be able to guide others also to learn this habit and attitude. Very important thing. Doesn't mean that you need to de-link yourself, deassociate yourself from the mankind or from the people network. We don't mean to say that, but it helps you a lot. You will understand as you progress forward in this session. Stay tuned. Being independent generally means taking responsibility for yourself. Example, to take your own life under your regime, under your control, and to not be easily influenced by others. Many people, right? They talk to three people, and all the three people they'll be biased and they'll be confused. They will lose track. So you will not be a person like that sort. You will gain a lot of control over your own thoughts and desires, and you have that confidence, right? And then it helps you to live your life the way you want it to live, exactly, while not making others worry about you, or you don't worry about others, either ways, right? So you know how to live your life, you know how to make decisions in life. Independency, one thing that promotes in everyone's mindset is they will be strong and good and fast decision makers. They'll be quite quick to decide things, and they will make right decisions. It helps you not on day one, as we said, but over a period of time. You inculcate, you get into these kind of habits, right? Wow, you will just enjoy it. Try it out. Why is being confident very important? See, each session we say this, right? We research, we take a lot of efforts and time to research from the psychological standpoint what majority of the people go through, right? And then we collect their questions and then we try to find answers. And that's how we come and present in each session, right? Why is being independent very, very important? There are two or three reasons, not too many reasons. It promotes confidence and self-esteem. You will start looking at yourself with a lot of respect. The problem in today's world is many people don't respect themselves. Forget about others. Forget you respecting others, right? You need to have that kind of esteem, not pride. Self-esteem is not self. elevation or something like that, prejudice. Not talking about prejudice here, but that respect, right? All that you do, you need to have that respect. The way how you talk, the way how you dress, the way how you look. God created you this way, and He felt this is the perfect way that you can look. Therefore, call yourself, whether you're dark skin, yellow skin, blue skin, white skin, don't care, right? You're you need to have that kind of self-respect to yourself. And what gives you that is this kind of independence, self-independent, being very independent and dependent on self and dependent on oneself. Sorry, right? And as well as it promotes motivation and perseverance, right? You will be very strong to understand your focus will never get distracted if you're an independent person. Why? Because you are dependent on you and you're very careful in doing things, right? You will not get easily distracted. This is why one should foster much towards the habit of being independent. It fosters self reliance also, and allowing you to feel that you have control over your life more than any, not even your parents. You feel that way, right? It'll make you feel, that's a beauty. And then it teaches you the self motivation, which we already covered, right? What happens when you become independent? For example, you are a person who had always been dependent on mommy and daddy, right? Behind mommy's sari and daddy's finger, always holding his finger and moving all around. Say, suddenly you make a choice, you made a decision that you want to become independent. What happens? What changes are going to be are going to be seen or sown in you, right? You need to see that. Being independent means that you're able to rely on yourself to take decisions and make your own choices that suits your mindset. See, you may be mommy's child or daddy's child. What happens is you won't realize it, but just think and see. It'll be more of daddy's dreams and mommy's desires being in you, right? Or you have a very close friend. It'll be more of his decision and his choices being implanted in you, and you won't be able to live your life. And over a period of time, as the needle moves, you get old and older. You'll feel so vexed in life when you turn around and see, or when you turn back the past, you would not feel that you have lived your life. You lived someone else's life. That's why independence is very important, that you should stick to this principle, right? It's, again, I mean to say, it's not to chop the friendship, it's not to chop companionship, it's not to promote loneliness. No, you still will have good variety of friends, good bunch of friends. You will still hang out with people, and you will still have jolly good time. Yet when it comes to decision making, when it comes to picking anything, making choices or being choosy, you will decide, right? You won't stop consulting others, but the final call will be yours. It will not be someone else's, right? Becoming independent, again, it's a process, right? Now, what happens when you become independent? When you make a choice to become independent, you won't become independent all of a sudden. It's a process. It's a chemical, like a chemical process. It's a process that happens over a period of time. Some people even may take a decade, but it's a good news, right? It's a process. Slowly the people will see that improvement. Therefore, make a decision today, and don't start living it desperately, deliberately from tomorrow morning. That'll create a lot of complications. That's one of the tip we want to give. In fact, this process starts well before you become an adult. Many people think, at what point of time should I take this decision? Any point of time. Many children, you won't believe, the inbuilt nature itself is there, very independent. They will start building their own, that toy games are there, no building blocks and all that. They will build their own. They won't even look at someone. While given a painting exercise, they won't look at the children, the neighboring children, what they do, and they won't even turn left to right. Some children, they have that inbuilt quality, right? And such kind of children, you need to watch out. They end up in depression. Why? Because they don't tend to mingle. The isolation, alienate themselves. That's another bad thing to practice. But that's not exactly independent attitude, but that is something similar that you can try to inherit. But still, you need to gel with people. You need people, right? As we said in many other sessions, human beings need each other. This world is designed in such a way that human beings support each other, and they march together in this journey of life, right? That's how the world has been designed by God. If you're not a believer in God, ignore this, but I'm a great believer in God, I believe. Okay, how is being independent very good or bad? Is it good or bad? No, I'm really confused. I don't know. I may be, rolling my eyes. Don't roll your eyes. We will help you. We will clarify this in a moment, right? Independence can help. increase your self value, we already told, and self esteem. You will feel the value of your life. You will stop making such funny and dirty statements like, I don't know why am I living my life, I don't know what my future is going to look like, I don't know what am I going to do. That I don't know will be completely eliminated from your mind and hearts. And that's the power. Why? Because you will start feeling that self value. you'll you'll be empowered to feel the reason why you're living this life, right? And you will start being an achiever of the financial hurdles or emotional issues or the social career you will build, or you'll become a kind of a person who will bring a lot of value to the society and to the environment and to that. You'll build that atmosphere. You'll build your own world in your family or in that workplace, wherever you go, right? Thirdly, you will build a lot of romantic relationships. Why? Because you have found a reason and a value to live your life, and you will get into a lot of. And I'm not talking about being flirtish, right? You'll make the right choice to pick a person that your life partner, and it will help you. That independence help you. Why? Because you are strong in decision making. No, you will make right decision, and you won't pick this girlfriend this week and next girlfriend that week or this boyfriend next month. Nothing like that. You won't even change. You will pick one partner and you will live with that partner, and you will live long. Yeah. Independent people do not rely on people, and negative actions from others will um, deeply affect them. So the one negative impact is when other people go through any kind of hustles, right? Or any kind of losses, and that impacts their mind. Why? Because this independency will promote a lot of positivity, but it will not build in a lot of capability to handle other people's failure. You will be able to handle your failure, but for example, your family member, your brother, your sister, your children, they go through some failure. You don't know how to handle that. You will be able to advise, but you won't be able to handle that to yourself. That is something you need to watch out. Why? Because you will start building a perfect world in your mind, and you will for some reason start expecting that from others. And when they fail, either you get irritated or depressed or frustrated and all that. So watch out on that. It's not a big negativity. It happens to independent person or a person who's not even independent. It happens to everyone in these days, right? That emotional impact is an emotional impact. When you go through any failures or hear any bad news or tragic incidents, you generally get disturbed. So it's not a major impact, but these people have it slightly on the higher side. So we need to watch out. What is the difference between the last question? What is difference between between independence and independent? Right? Many people ask this. Independence is freedom, as if you are chained. Right? Independence is the state or quality of being independent. Freedom from dependence, freedom from depending on others. That freedom you have to give it to yourself. Seriously, I'm telling you this. Why? Because if you wait for a moment that you should be freed and all, see, you may end up with several quarrels or fights. Your mommy may not like it, your daddy may not like it. We are not asking you to chop the relationship. We are asking you to uh, ask them to stop treat you like a kid or a baby, even after you're a grown up adult or a teen or a professional. Some people, even after marriage also, they are dependent on the adults or the elders of the house, and without their permission I don't do it. In India especially, right? There should be a sense of respect. You can share information, but that independence you just cannot let go, right? There was one small story, right? Many people may know it, right? There was a lame person, right? We will name him as Mukund, right? Mukund always used to have a friend. His name was Vishnu. Vishnu and Mukund were thick friends, and Mukund, um, all of a sudden, what happened is suddenly he started getting some sores at the bottom of his heel. So he started limping a little bit. He couldn't walk freely. And over a period of time, he realizes he needs some support. Therefore, Vishnu was anyways thickest friend. And therefore, he always used to catch the shoulders of Vishnu. And Mukund used to go always with him and come back home also. They go together to work and they come back. And after that, he was managing the home by himself. Both were unmarried and all that. Now, what happened is after after a few weeks or something like that, Vishnu passed away due to a tragic incident, a tragic illness, and Mukund felt all alone. So to replace Vishnu's presence, he took a stick and he used to walk around with that stick. with the support of the stick, he was walking everywhere because that sore was hurting him. That wound right under his heel was hurting him a lot. Then few weeks passed, few months passed by, and then even a year passed by. And then the fortunate thing was Mukund's that wound, right? That wound in the heel got healed. It vanished. He did not realize, neither did he make any efforts to check what had happened. But he was completely dependent on that stick. If somebody would take away the stick, people were even mocking him, right? They will pull away the stick and they will make him, limp around and all that. And people were making fun of this. And he was going through all these mockery incidents and at that. Even during that time, it didn't flash his mind. Should I check whether the wound is still existing or not, right? Then one fine morning, somebody took away the stick and threw in the well, and he was in the middle of his way and he didn't know what to do. So he started walking like a baby, four legged, or an animal like a four leg. Then he saw some insects were, a bunch of insects were kind of chasing him. What do you say? A bunch of flies, like honeybee, was chasing him, and without a choice, he will have to run. So he started running in four legs, how much ever faster he could. Then he could not. Without a choice, the fear drove him mad, and he started running in his two legs for a mile. And Mukund suddenly stops, and he looks behind. The flies are all gone. Then he looks down. To his surprise, he sees, oh my goodness, I'm able to walk properly. I'm able to run. But the question is, from how long? What is the moral of the story, beloved? The moral of the story is you have that capability. Once upon a time, you were chained in this bondage of dependence, but you always had that inbuilt capability of breaking those chains and staying independent. That quality of your life was always there, but you never realized. As much as Mukund forgot to look down on the source and right under his heel, which healed long back. I think even during the days of Vishnu, before he passed away, Mukund was healed, but he didn't realize. Because why? He enjoyed that comfort in the presence of Vishnu, and then it was replaced by a stick and all that. But when the situation forced him, his natural quality came out, right? Likewise, our natural ability must be realized. You need to look down on yourself. You need introspect. You have that quality or not. You test it and see through incidents. Take take one decision independently and live by that decision. I know for any circumstance of your life. I don't want to stipulate anything, but any circumstance of your life. Probably you got few job offers, or probably you just moved out of your school and you are in a confusion which professional course to pick, right? Don't go and consult 25 people, right? Take a decision and stick to it, which suits your passion, interest, mindset. Not again stopping that. If you have better professionals, I mean, for example, your father himself is a counselor, he's a better professional. Consult people, take suggestions, but let your decision be the best. Well, let your decision be the final. Okay. Now, what are the signs for the people to realize, just like how we have, I mean, we just now narrated a story, right? Uh, like from that story, what is that you learned? You have that independent skill, but then you have not realized it. Now, when you can realize it, right? These are the six or seven things, like a checklist we are giving you. You need really check on yourself whether any of this is available in you or already inbuilt in you. You know who you are, right? You are the best judge to yourself. You're focused on you're a person who's very focused generally. When a task is given, some children, right, especially when they ask them to do something, playing means they will play to the extent of almost losing their breath. That much they will play. Studying means they will study well, right? Dancing, they will dance well. They are focused on that specific task given at that point of time. You're of that kind, then you have that independent quality. I'm not saying this. Many psychiatrists have researched and they have found this, right? And you know, you will have the art of saying no. Many people, they have a difficulty. I also have a great difficulty. Don't tell anyone, okay? I have a great difficulty to say no. Anything and everything people approach, I'll say yes. Then I will be biting my tongue and fingers. I said yes, and somehow I will make it happen, right? But if you have that capability and the quality of saying no, not rudely, but in a very polite way, you have the capability of independence. Why? Because you are a person who will make the choice according to your desire, and you can always, push out things which is not of your choice. Therefore, you have the quality. Number three, um, You take care of your own financial requirements and needs. I'm not talking about teens, you're still dependent on your father and mother, but after you become adult you will start picking something part time to generate some revenue. Yet you will be studying, yet you will be a student, but you will start generating that kind of partial income. Why? You have that independent quality. I shouldn't be a burden. I'm an adult now. I should earn something on my own myself, and I need to start my dwelling. You may not be able to fulfill every need. You will still need some support from your parents, but majority you will be able to meet. You are of that category. You have that independent quality. Okay. And you are a very ambitious person. Some people, they have career targets. Probably they learned it from their parents or learned it from professors, but they have that quality. You are an independent person too, right? You are very choosy about relationships. You just won't mingle with everyone. Neither you would be lonely, but you will be very choosy in making relationships and friends and companions. You are an independent person too. Lastly, you are not comfortable being with needy people. You understand? Some people, if they're truly in need of you, fine. But then some people always will nudge you, no, help me, take this and all that. That nudging character, you will get rid of them. Why? Because it disturbs your independence. You will call them as a kind of a distraction, and you will stay away from them. You are having that independent quality. And lastly, you are a very realistic person, a practical person. Practically you will be able to decide things and judge things, right? Some people will be unrealistic, right? They will say, how can you lose 10 marks? How can you lose 10 marks? The marks are gone, right? You need to talk about the next steps. Next time, what are the mistakes? Analyze where you have lost those 10 marks and where you have failed, right? Where you caused the error, what caused you to fail. You will be in a kind of an analytical mode rather than looking at the past. You will be already marching towards the future. You are that independent person. All right. If you have these signs, this is a checklist. You already have that quality. You should be proudly and boldly calling yourself as a very independent person. All right. Last things, we are going to close. We are going to close in another 5 minutes or lesser than that. Now, there are a few reasons why you need to become more independent. Some reasons we touched, but there are 6 or 7 important reasons why you should inculcate this habit of being more independent. Right. As usual, it boosts your self confidence and esteem. It decreases the burden on other people. For example, your parents, they'll feel very happy to see that you're taking care of yourself, right? They're not worried about your future, right? It turns out it enhances your reputation among friends. It builds your respect in your community, in your society, at your own home, at your workplace. People will start respecting you. Why? Because you know how to handle things. May it be challenges, may it be anything that gives you hard time, you just know how to give a solution. Why? Because you're a independent person. It leads you to financial freedom, and you are skilled and capable to manage your finances on your own. We told you that you will find alternate jobs, you'll pick some part-time jobs, you will start squeezing your talents, you will not stress, but then it comes out naturally, right? Many people are multi-talented, but then they don't use it at all, right? They stick to their job. Oh, I don't have time, I'm very tired. Oh, my 8 hours goes there and 6 hours in sleep, and somehow they will have that excuses. But the thing is, the beauty is, every human being are multi-talented, right? But somehow they stick. But few people, they end up realizing that, and they start investing time in those areas, and they become really prosperous. You need to try that out, beloved. I'm telling you this. It fills you with a lot of joy and happiness that can come from no other source. No money can give you the joy. No friendship can give you joy. But this kind of independence, that you're able to handle things, the confidence that you have, purchased for a price through your hard work and efforts, will give you that joy. It places you in a position that you will be a innovator and inventor. People will always look up to you for solution for any problem. This is why one should become, see, it's such a joy, right? It doesn't come on its own. When you practice, when you get into this mode, you will realize what a blessing you are to this community, to this world, and to the people whom you are with, right? Lastly, just one title and then we are done. What are the ways? We are giving you some tips as usual, right? What are the ways? What are the tips? What are the methods to become more independent and less codependent on other people, friends, relatives, whoever it may be, right? There are 4 or 5 things which you may want to know. Get to know who you are, right? Start taking a pen and paper and pen it down. What are your strengths? What are your weaknesses? What are you good at? What are you bad at? What are your aspirations and what you hate the most? You need to classify. When was the last time you sat down? Forget it. In lifetime, have you done this exercise at least once? Penning down is such a beautiful art, right? Don't think you're wasting a paper, or you pen it down in an Excel sheet if you're a computer freak, right? Pen it down in an Excel sheet or in a word pad, no problem. But have you done these things? What are your likes, dislikes? What are your merits, demerits? What are your strengths, weaknesses? You need to have this. In a corporate world, they call it a SWOT, right? SWOT: strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. There are certain threats to yourself, right? You know you are terrible in certain things. You need to call it as threats. There are opportunities where you can improve. You need to call it out. There are strengths where you nothing can shake that strength or demoralize you or demotivate you. There are weaknesses. You're weak. Probably you're a drug addict or you're alcoholic, and you need to write that and you need to convert that into some sort of strengths. You need to come out of the addiction. It helps you, right? You try it out, and this is the thing which helps you to become more independent. Why? Because you will know your qualities. You get that 360-degree view of who you are. Therefore, you can make right choices and stay independent. That's the first thing. Only 3 points we're going to talk. Challenge your beliefs, challenge your assumption, observe your beliefs, and you will be always willing to question yourself. Yeah, the forefinger doesn't point at others, it will point at you. If you're an independent person, even if it's good or bad, something went wrong, you made an error, or someone really did something terrible, and you're able to let go easily, all these habits comes. Why? Because the finger turns to you, right? It starts. Not all the time you are the person to be blamed, but I'm telling you, most of the times you will get a solution easily, right? Thirdly, you will start making your own decisions, and you will you will want to meet your own needs. You know what it is? This is the desire you should implant in your head. Anyway, my father's legacy asserts are there. My father's car is there. My father's house is there. My mother's dresses are there. Why I should invest? What I should buy? Everything is already kept in store. I lack nothing and all that. No, those are all belonging to your parents. You need to build your own world. You need to build your own legacy. When you start thinking that way, that's the third important thing. You will definitely start becoming more independent. Why? Because you want to live the life you dreamt about. All right. By this, we end this session, and I hope it was useful. As usual, we request you to please subscribe to our channel and comment as you see the videos. Give feedback. We will try to improve. We will try to change our narratives, how much ever the way that it helps you the best. And also, please let us know if you need any kind of help, and then WhatsApp us, or you can comment to us, right? 9902212152 is our WhatsApp number. And let us know if you need any new topics where you need guidance. You may be an young professional, you may be a person who's about to get married, or you're just into teenage, or you may be just from teenage to adulthood, or adulthood to professional, or marriagehood, or parenthood, whatever may be the category. Let us know, right? We all learn together. I'm not saying I'm an expert. I'm not saying I'm Mr. Perfect, but we will try to find out the answers to help you, right? We're very glad to see you today, and stay tuned and subscribe, and go through all the playlists. You pick and choose what you want, right? We are with part two playlist, and this is the 10th session, and it's part two. And we will be enrolling part three soon. God bless you. Stay tuned.